Hey guys, it's Allison. I'm here with another process video. This one's going to be a bit of mixed media. So what I'm doing here is I wanted a color of pink to match this paper from Dear Lizzie. So I started to mix one and then I realized that there was one already there that matched perfectly. So I'm just like splattering. Decided to do one with lots of splattering in the background. So that's what I'm doing right now. And there's already gesso on here, which you can kind of see the top because I didn't wait for it to fully dry. And so now I'm taking some black as well and just adding some black splatters. And now I'm letting it dry. So here I'm just going to make my paper or my layers. So I'm just taking this vellum from Dear Lizzie. I don't remember the name of it, but it's the really beautiful specialty paper one. And I'm cutting it because I normally would hoard this, but I decided to not hoard things because it's more fun to use them. So now I'm taking this black and white polka dot piece and I'm cutting it out 4 layers. And I really wanted to use some of this pink one. That was like the main color inspiration of it. So just cutting some of that out for layers, and now I'm just like looking through and I want to use some of this wood grain. It's just from the 6x6 pad. And I'm using more from the 6x6 pad, this little floral piece, which is really pretty. I kind of realized that I didn't exactly love the way that these layers were looking though. They were looking very perfectly square, not perfectly good looking, perfectly like just average. So I decided to cut that wood grain piece in half and put half on each side, and then I use some of this floral piece. I cut it diagonally. And then I decided to use some of this black and white zigzag piece and do the same thing as the floral piece. And I guess I started to look through my die cuts from this collection just because I was kind of bored waiting for that piece to dry. And then I realized there was really no point. So this is it a little bit later. I decided to use some of these rub-ons for the background just because I really love the way that they look. I did find it hard to put these rub-ons on the background, I think just because of the gesso. But I've been using them a bit since then as well, and I think they're just like a harder to get off rub-on in general. So I decided to do that little flower, and then I decide to do this little, I think it says love, love, love. You guys can probably read it better than I can up in this corner, which I think is super cute. I'm really happy with the way this layout turned out in general. See what I'm doing here though? If you are not good at rub-ons, which I'm not, what I do is I just peel them up super slowly, and then usually you can see if it's not fully down, and then you can just like go back over and rub over that section and try to pull it up again so that you don't lose any of it, because you can lose chunks of them and that really sucks. So I'm just adding a few more little ones around. I decided to make like a sort of circle type thing. So I just added some hearts, and I'm going to add some stars up here. I really love the way this layout turned out. I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm totally freaking out when I'm peeling off the backing of that rub-on because I hate the way your nails feel on gesso. It's like nails on a chalkboard. So I was like freaking out while doing it. So I just decided to move this over a little bit, and I popped it up on some pop dots. And now I'm using these stickers that are also from this collection, the Dear Lizzie documentary collection. And I'm just writing the title, which is Booger Baby. which I know is hard to see the picture because my lighting is, I'm just trying to figure out my lighting situation because we've moved and we're not to our final destination, but we're currently living in a basement suite for a little bit. So the lighting is really, there's a ton of lights down here, which is nice, but it's hard to film a video because there's always a reflection because there's like a million pot lights in the ceiling. So that's why there's a reflection in the picture. Sorry about that. I'm figuring it out. Soon my lighting will go back to being fine. But yeah, so I put down one of those die cuts under it just for some layering. And then I put down the strip of the other half of that strip from the sticker sheet. And now I've just decided to back this on a piece of paper, and I cut the backing really small just because I like this paper and I want to use a lot of it. So yeah, I cut it so that the piece in between is larger. And now I'm just gluing it down. Which, does anybody ever, like, every time I do this I have troubles. I can never get it perfect the first time, but like never. I always have to redo it. So now I'm just figuring out what I want to do for my embellishment clusters. I decided to pop up this party animal one, and I'm just going through my die cuts again. I love that wish one, but I don't know. I don't really have anything that I wish for currently. Pretty satisfied with my life, so I don't know. I wish for more scrapbooking supplies, I guess. So now I'm just going through the die cuts again, and I put that fancy free one down, even though I don't really know what that means, whatever. And now I'm using some of the puffy stickers. And I'm just going through those puffy stickers and seeing if there's anything else I want to use. And just kind of figuring everything out. This little butterfly was in a rack someone gave me. I thought maybe I wanted to use it, but I didn't end up using it. This pear. Does anyone else find it hard to use fruit or vegetable food shaped items? Or is that just me? So now I'm just trying to figure out if I want to put other puffy stickers anywhere. I decide to use this little ticket, but I'm not loving that little, I don't want to call it bundle, cluster in the top. So I decided to use this light bulb, which is like my favorite sticker out of this whole set, and I think it goes a lot better in that corner. And then I just put that party animal thing down by the bottom cluster, and I use a little tab, and I decide to pop up this light bulb just to make it have a little bit more dimension. And use a couple more of the small ones. Does anyone else wish that they put more small puffy stickers? Because I use them like enamel dots. I always use them like enamel dots. It's not like, it's just because this collection, they had like the wood circly pieces, but I don't know, I didn't get those. I'm not really sure why. I just didn't. So I wish it had enamel dots. Every collection should have enamel dots because they're the best thing ever. I almost swore, but then I didn't. So now I'm just adding a few more of the small stickers, just to make it more circle-ish. And it's definitely not that circly, but I like the way it turned out. And then I just end up fussing a bit more, and then I decide to use the new roller phrase stamp that comes with this and add a few stamps with this one. It's definitely not the most crispest, if it's not a word, but it's not the most crisp of the stamps I find, but maybe it's just because the first time I was using it. But it's okay because I have a ton of splatters around, so it doesn't really look that weird. And then I just decided, like, that one red star, and then I wanted to add a little bit of Heidi Swap gold color shine because I add that to like every layout, and then it got on that light bulb and it looked weird. So this is me just fixing that. And then I think that's it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Here's a close-up. Please like and subscribe and comment, and I will see you soon. All right, bye.